Welcome to the Heart of Giving. This program, as you know, is for the nonprofits, the people in our community that give of their time and their efforts, people that take care of us, and it gives our city the soul. That's why Long Beach is such a great place to be, because people do care about one another. And they say, when you give, you get more. And today we have a group that is outstanding in our community. And just talking a little bit about what they've done a few minutes ago, you'll be delighted to know what a wonderful asset this is to the city of Long Beach. Today we have the Disabled Resource Center with us, with Dolores Nason, who is the executive director, and Richard Hernandez, who is the, what?
Systems Change Advocate.
Systems Change Advocate. Anyway, we're delighted that you're here with us. And Dolores, I'm going to start with you. Okay. Just tell us what this is. I mean, when you read what you do, you are a resource center. Now, tell us, like, when did you start?
1976.
Okay.
And we're just one of 28 independent living centers in the state of California. Mm-hmm. In fact, there's 6 independent living centers in Los Angeles County, because you know Los Angeles County is bigger than some states.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and the population that we work with are people with disabilities.
Now, when you say disabilities, that runs the gamut.
Okay, I think that we are the only agency in Long Beach that works with all disabilities, all ages, all incomes.
Hearing, sight, physical?
Everything, yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Now, like, tell us what?
Well, you know, whether you have a physical disability, whether you have a mental disability, whether you are blind, with hearing loss. In fact, hearing loss, I want to tell you, we just got our center looped, our 2 large conference rooms. And we, here again, we are the first agency in Long Beach to get our rooms looped. Mm-hmm. And what that means is that there's a T-coil behind people's hearing aid that they can just turn on, and when they do, they go into this room that's looped, they can hear just like everyone else.
Oh,
it's
my.
Amazing.
That's new?
It is new for Long Beach. Mm-hmm. Now they have, you know, most of the courthouses and like San Francisco, their buildings are all looped. In Europe, they're looped. We're kind of behind, but it's like a miracle. I have a person with hearing loss on my board of directors, mm-hmm. and she's the one that told me about it. So I went after a grant. I didn't get the grant, but I thought it was so important that I used my general funds mm-hmm. to have our rooms looped.
But tell us about the clientele that you have. You know, talk about someone who has a motion disability.
Okay. We have a computer lab, for one thing, that has the very latest of the technology, the programs to reach people with all disabilities. If mm-hmm. you are blind, you can use this. They have, what are some of the programs, Richard? We have JAWS.
Yeah, I should turn to Richard here.
Yeah.
Shall I turn to Richard?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Turn to Richard.
He's the source of all of
this. He is.
Okay. Well, Richard, you know, as I say, the word disabilities is so broad, and let's be specific. Let's talk about the things that, I mean, do you provide the ability for them to find a job? I mean,
yes.
what is it?
Yes.
We're an independent living center. So what we do is we help them. We want them to become and stay independently. That's what we want. We don't want them in an institute. We don't want them isolated. We want them living on their own,
okay.
making their own decisions about their own lives. So all our services are specifically for that purpose. And we do help with many different services that we offer. We do help you with apply for your benefits. If you want to apply for benefits, we help you apply for benefits.
Okay.
We have many support groups as well. We have co-ed support groups. We have a women's support groups. We'll have 8 week stepping stones to employment also.
And does the support group have the same type of disability as the person, or is it just all?
It's everybody.
It's everybody.
Everybody, yes.
Okay.
We also have in-home support services. If you want to someone to come take care of you, you come to our agency and we'll sign you up for that. We'll give you the information that you need to apply for in-home support services. We also have a job, looking for jobs. We are job developers that help you if you do want to go back to work. If you want to try to work and you want to know how your benefits will be affected, we'll explain as well as that how your benefits will be affected. Before I started working, I didn't know about independent living centers. When I started working, that's when I found out about them, and they're very helpful. They help me. I've come a long way. If you've seen me before, I have matured a lot thanks to independent living centers.
Yeah, well, tell us.
Okay, when
If you
I
don't
came,
mind.
sure, that's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
When I came to independent living center, I was living at home with my parents, and I didn't know what was out there for me. I went to the Department of Rehab. They took me to training. They took me to school. After that, after they sent me to those places, then I got my certificate. Then I started looking for a job. I went to DRC. They were able to provide me with a job.
That's Disabled Resource Center.
Disabled
Okay.
Resource Center, DRC. And because of them, I was able to get out of my own house and get my own apartment, which was a big step for me because I have never been out of my house. So when I moved out, it was a big step. But thanks to DRC and their services, I was able to leave my house and get my own apartment. And then from there on, I kept growing with time. So from there on, I was able to get my own house. I was able to purchase the house with some of the programs. We also have housing. So our housing coordinator told me some of the programs that are out there for people with disabilities or low income that want to be homeowners. So I applied for those benefits, and I was able to become a homeowner. And I'm very happy. I'm going on 4 years as a homeowner. I'm very happy. And about 3 years ago, I got married as well.
Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
Beautiful wife.
Oh, is that right? Did you meet her at Disabled Resource Center?
No, but I did meet her at a clinic.
Is that right?
Yes, and I'm very happy.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good for you.
I'm a stepdad as well.
Oh, my.
2 beautiful children.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Your life
one of-
has changed.
One of the
It has.
things Richard didn't say that he had never flown before, and so part of his job as the systems change advocate is he needs to go up to Sacramento and talk to the legislators and so he first time he went, he took his mom with him,
Oh,
and
yeah.
now he goes back and forth all by himself.
You don't
and
need that.
Yeah.
You can go alone.
He's great. Yeah.
That's wonderful. You know, so what I glean is that you are a resource center for resources.
Right. The difference, like we're not a sheltered workshop like Goodwill or, you know, we like Richard said, we give people the tools, the information that they need so that they can live
Be independent
independently.
living.
Like I tell my kids, don't ever put me in a home. Call Connie. And Connie works at DRC. She's worked there for about 15 years. She has a list of attendants that will help you in your home. I have an interesting story. Our past board president is a quadriplegic, and he and his mother came to me 22 years ago, and I was doing cottage job at that time besides benefits, and he had just received an injury where he was a quadriplegic and he needed an attendant because his mom was working and just couldn't take care of him all the
Yeah.
time. So I got him an attendant, and to this day, he still has that same attendant. 22 years later,
Oh, my
that
goodness.
man finished high school. He went on to college, and now he teaches in college.
Oh,
and
my.
this same attendant comes every morning, gets him up,
Ready?
so that he can go to work, and then she comes back in the evening and helps him so that he can go to bed. Otherwise, he lives independently, and she also brings him sometimes to our board meetings.
So you hear stories like that a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes.
And what a satisfying feeling that is
It
to know
is.
that someone is living independently
Oh.
because of the knowledge that you have.
Yes. Yeah.
When you talk about the type of disabilities, is there some one thing or 2 or 3 things that are dominant in the number of problems?
Well, if you take the population that we serve, the majority of the disabilities are people with physical disabilities. And then next would be people with, I would say with hearing loss would be next. And then we have
Trauma.
yeah, trauma, head trauma. That's another big one. Especially the veterans coming back. You know, there's a lot of
Oh, yes.
head trauma.
And do you have volunteers helping you?
Oh, we have wonderful volunteers. We have a volunteer program. No one can volunteer at our center unless they go through an 8-week peer counseling training class.
They can learn just from that
Yeah.
how to live.
Yes.
And so when they get, after that 8 weeks, then they get a certificate, and then if we have an opening, they can volunteer at our center. We also train the volunteers for the Long Beach Main Library because we've helped them set up their equipment and their
Yes, and they're doing very well in
Yes.
what they offer for that.
Yes, yes.
So you have, and if somebody wanted to volunteer, they would get in touch with the Disabled Resource
Yes.
Center,
Yes.
and you'd put them to work in some
Right.
way. Well, that's wonderful.
We have a class that's just finishing up. They've got, I think, 2 more classes. And then in November, we'll have a new 8-week training class.
And how many people have you touched? Do you know?
Well, are
Or
you
do you
talking about
touch?
consumers?
No, I'm talking about clients.
Yeah, we call them consumers.
Okay.
And we do that because Department of Rehabilitation uses that terminology. I'm not particularly fond of it, but you know that's what we have to do because
Okay.
we're under their jurisdiction. We work with over 1,100 new consumers every year. And then, of course, we work with Reserve, but new consumers every year.
And so you do have some governmental help.
Yes.
Through the Disabilities Act.
Through the Department of Rehabilitation. The money is federal money, but it comes through the state, through the Department of Rehabilitation. Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, this is wonderful. I've just loved hearing what you're doing, and what a service. And I'm glad you're here, Richard, because you know you're a tribute to what they do. Do you feel
Yes.
that way?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do feel that way.
Yeah, just asking you questions. I mean, you were ready. I mean, you wanted to talk about it because you felt so enthused about it.
I'm happy working at the agency.
That's
It's a
great.
very good agency.
That's
And
great.
If we can't find the resources that you need, we could refer you
Great.
if we don't have
Well,
it.
thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here.
I
Thanks
just
so much.
want not only Richard, but I want to say that people's lives are literally changed by just walking through the door.
That's great. Good for, oh my, that's wonderful. What a good story. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
and thank you for
Pleasure.
watching. Wasn't that wonderful? And it's something if you didn't know about, you should know about. We'll be right back.